Heart, fortiness, pioneering spirit, and family. Ladies and gentlemen, Porsche. Good morning, dear board members. Proudly representing the University of Mauritius, we are the Customer Relationship Management team of Porsche. I am Zaina, alongside my colleagues Baram Singh, Lakshmi, and Manjishta. Our agenda for today comprises an overview of Porsche, an analysis of the situation, unveiling our strategy, taking a look at the numbers, and going through the risk. Without further ado, buckle up your seatbelts and let's start.
Porsche is committed to providing an impeccable service to its demanding clientele of premium cars and paying its customers with the greatest possible attention and care in all aspects of the business. After launching the Taycan and seeing the strong public interest for the electric vehicles, Porsche has announced its intention to be carbon neutral in 2030 and thus setting a goal of 80% of all new vehicle sales to be fully electric by 2030. It's a brand for those who follow their dreams. The brand has always been very important for Porsche, as for us it's not just about selling a car, but more like selling an experience.
Dear board members, another goal for our company is to care for our customers. However, Porsche has been striving to meet the expectations of customer service. The problem revolves around service failure and unsuccessful recovery by the dealership. The head of customer relationships is concerned about what has gone wrong in the system, from accepting and confirming the customer's order to assessing customer satisfaction. There is a need to act, and hence the problem statement is, what should Porsche do to live up to its customer-centric promise?
Living up to the problem statement, we devise a deep situation analysis and understanding of the company. The current opportunity to transfer the way we move fundamentally results from changes in three main areas: regulation, technology, and consumer behavior. Government and cities have introduced a regulation and incentive to accelerate the shift to sustainable mobility. Industry players are accelerating the speed of automotive technology innovation as they develop new concepts of electric, connected, autonomous, and shared mobility. Consumer behavior and awareness are also changing as more people accept alternative and sustainable mobility modes. However, coming to our company, the critical area is that Porsche often boasts about his capacity of providing an impeccable service to our demanding clientele, but it is not actually the case. This occurs due to ineffective communication within the society and eventually makes our customers feel unvalued.
After identifying the problem statement, we as consultants of our company have deemed it fit to situate our company over a hybrid model of analysis which encompasses a SWOT analysis from the perspective of a balanced scorecard. Our strength in financials seems to be our sales growth, which rose notably due to the innovation brought by our excellent team. However, our weakness seems to be that our profitability ratio and net contribution percentage are lower than the industry average. Well, there are many potential to expand and explore both the local and international markets to uplift the company's financial performance. Stable profitability has increased the number of players in the industry, which has put downward pressure on profitability and overall sales. Now, let's take a look at our internal processes.
Through internal exploration, we came to know that you indeed have the best and most robust team, which brings together splendid ideas. We do, however, recognize that there is a communication problem within our organization that may lead to the principal agent problem in the future. However, we are confident that it could be solved through the dynamic talents of our employees. Our customer base says it all when mentioning our after-sales service. However, managing the quality of the service is something you should not turn a blind eye to. If we play our cards right, Porsche will get an opportunity to have a strong customer loyalty, but it will have to look out for threatening competitors. Now let's take a look at learning and growth. Our strength in this aspect is that we are constantly stepping up our game and bringing significant technological breakthroughs. An opportunity to enhance the latter would be expert recruitment. But in contrast, when compared to other organizations in the industry, Porsche has a higher attrition rate and poor employee loyalty, which means that we have to spend a lot more time compared to our competitors on the training and development of its employees.
Having done a situation analysis to understand what customers want and a hybrid model of the balanced scorecard and the SWOT analysis to understand the weaknesses and the threat, we are thereby proposing one strategy that comprises of 5 parts. Customer centricity. At the very core of Porsche is the mission to provide an impeccable service to our demanding clientele of premium cars. We strongly believe that having a business model that revolves around customer centricity is essential. It helps the organization to achieve a positive and personalized experience for our customers and makes it easier for our employees to pay more attention to our customers. Companies that have put the customer at the heart of their organization are experiencing an increase in customer lifetime value. So let's take a ride through it.
To is human. The first issue we have to tackle is that there is no functioning system to deal with such service failures. A business priority should be to do its best to retain clients and try to make up for any loss of trust that may have happened during the process. The steps are that a person has to first identify and acknowledge the issue, then proceed to take ownership of the mistake. Next is to find a solution to the problem. To avoid a further situation where fake promises were made, the concerned employees should discuss with the branch or showroom manager concerning how to compensate for the failed service and be clear about the time it will take. Communication is the hidden recipe to success of the service failure recovery. Keeping the customer informed and regularly updated will ensure that our team is making the necessary efforts to remedy the situation. Finally, after the service failure recovery operation, the situation should be reviewed and proper standards should be set. A quick, successful service failure recovery will make our customers feel cared for and valued, which is why, in turn, they will value you even more than those without service failure.
The next problem we are going to tackle is poor communication, customer relationship management, for which we are proposing to establish a dedicated review committee. This committee would make sure that employees are engaging in social listening by creating a clear process and a coordinated response that addresses the customer's complaints, as in most cases, upset customers are looking for help and clarity and not trouble. Formal guidelines and policies would be established to help with logging, investigating, and resolving any customer dissatisfaction and problems. When considering feedback from our customers and improving our product or service, the company will be able to provide a consistent and satisfactory experience for our customers. Customer complaints handling would be a proactive process, as when complaints are handled quickly, upset customers can often become loyal and even be our brand advocates. Simply put, a customer complaint can become very profitable when you can resolve their problem quickly.
The customer relationship management will be enhanced as customers would be able to contact your company through a variety of channels. They can also contact you through different departments, such as sales, marketing, and customer service. The committee would use a bottom-up communication approach for this strategy. To do so, a 3-step process will be followed. Firstly, customer queries will have to be compiled at the lowest level, then sent to big branches in that area, and finally be reported to the headquarters. The outcome of our strategies is that the review committee will be the authority figures in the company, and the employees will feel the need to be better and do better without making false promises.
While yes, it is true that Porsche has the familiarization and development opportunities, our team deems it fit to review how we are currently training our employees, since we are the ones who are in contact with our prized customers. We believe that our employee don't feel as valued as you think they do, and this can further be backed by the high attrition rate. Our company's mission, vision, and principles are our backbone. These define who we are and where we stand for, what we stand for. It is of utmost importance to align our employees with our purpose, and this process should not be rushed. This situation can be remedied by building a healthier organizational culture where our employees feel like they are more important and where they can be more open to managers in case of crisis instead of hiding for fear of being sacked. After all, our employees are our assets.
Communication is key to the success of a business, and the core issue we identify here is lack of communication. Our next strategy tackled this issue. We found out there is no proper channel of communication, just like how the head of the customer service has come up with and has come across an audio recording by mistake. If ever she didn't came across this, the issue of our client wouldn't have been covered. Front is a software we propose to avoid the inconsistency of keeping up with the communication channels or even reviews. Front is a specialized software that integrates our system and bring all our social media apps to one place. This can ease access to complaints and all requests of customers.
Easily keeping track of our customer communication, we will be able to know if ever there are any changes were made to the order, and the particular task can be allocated easily to the concerned party or even flagged as important so that the system puts it as a priority. The review committee would be able to have access to the different chats and even customer complaints. This eases their task, as instead of going through the various paperwork, it can easily be obtained in one place. Examples of companies using Front to improve their communication channels are Checkout.com and Cisco, two dominating companies in their industry.
This brings us to the next step of our strategy, Go Paperless. Our company has a goal to help the environment by bringing 80% EV by 2030. We believe reducing our CO2 emission is good, but what are we doing at the core of the business? In an era where technological advancement has become a pillar of many companies, Porsche still uses paper. Going paperless not only helps our company further in its mission, but also adds value to the ESG mission of that our company wants to adopt.
As mentioned before, the integration of Front would bring better communication facilities, but that's not all. It also provides for better management of customer reviews by linking online forms to it. It assists in the provision of special KPIs displaying customer satisfaction, which enables managers to understand what is going wrong and where. Moreover, we are evolving to enable ease of customer at the core around the globe, and offering digital signature does account for this in the case of our company. Our company could promote the digital signature culture by offering 500 Hong Kong dollars coupons to its client for an application, DocuSign, that has years of service in providing this, while also taking security into account.
Our team assesses the customer centricity strategy through the SFA framework in order to guarantee you that we are providing you with quality strategy. Our strategy is customer centricity, and we've all elaborated about 5 different points from which we will be tackling the numerous problems. The strategies do more than just satisfy the SFA strategy assessment tool, but it takes into account the need to go beyond and take the extra step.
Taking a look at the financials, we projected that the profits of our company would increase yearly by an average approximate of 10%. However, we believe that with our strategy, there will be an increase of about 3% additionally, as represented in the graph. Our expected profit for the Chinese branch will be 10,776 million Hong Kong dollars and is expected to rise to 13,200 million Hong Kong dollars by 2024. The increments or impacts of our strategy on the profit figures, leading to an additional gain.
The craze, but also an upsurge in environmentally conscious people, have driven the demand for EVs to rise significantly. However, another major economic factor that promotes EV cars is the rise in petrol prices all around the world because of the Russia-Ukraine war. Porsche China has seen a rise in 2021 to about 5,300 cars for the Taycan model. Our increase in revenue is based on the extra revenue we will get on the rise of the Taycan model demand, where the underestimated rise in the number of cars is expected to be around 12%.
A breakdown of the costs brings about the training of our staff for the usage of front, employing new experts for the crisis management per branch, providing the vouchers to our clients for increased brand loyalty, research and development that Porsche has got to do to keep on improving its design, sales and marketing operability. The miscellaneous expenses take into account the front software inclusion, amongst others. The cost estimate figures take into account how the actual market demand is evolving and the required return from Porsche to perform to the expectations of the market.
While risk is a critical part of the analysis, we assess the risk of our strategies through a risk assessment matrix, which evaluates them through severity and likelihood. The first risk that we may encounter while adopting the first phase of our strategy, which is a service failure recovery, is the difficulty of rebuilding the trust of our customer in us. The next strategy on the same level of low risk is a mismatch of the set standards. That is, the set standard would not solve any given problem regarding this strategy.
For the medium level of risk, the phase of reviewing employee training is that they will have training on mundane and periodical tasks which are repetitive, boring, unproductive, and yet necessary. In addition, employees will face an overload of information where they can get overwhelmed and start to disengage from training or even leave the organization. Coming to the last risk, complex fraud interface, it is expected that a platform where all these different communication channels are being grouped will not be easy at the start for our people to understand, since they have never used this platform before.
There are no rewards without risk, but we should try to insulate ourselves from them as much as we can. Therefore, we aim to mitigate the first risk by giving reassurance and time to our customers and speaking through our actions. The next risk we are going to tackle is constant communication, such as feedback from our customers. We aim to deal with this medium level of risk by offering innovative training methods whereby the input of the employees is heard and interactive sessions are conducted.
In order to maintain the engagement level with the training sessions, concise sessions will be conducted, and in addition, recorded videos will be made available, thus helping the employees to learn in real time. Coming to the front platform, our customers will have the possibility to obtain training on how to use the software, and videos will be made available.
Our strategy, customer-centricity, will start in August 2022 to end in December 2023. With service failure recovery having the utmost priority and will be treated as urgent, we believe that 2 months will be enough to communicate the step-by-step guide. Coming to implementing the longest strategy, front, for better communication, we estimate that it will take around 15 months because it takes time for everyone to understand the platform, go through the training if necessary, and align all the branches on it.
We've built our strategies, keeping our mission, which is committed to provide an impeccable service to our demanding clientele of premium cars. Service failure, customer dissatisfaction, employee disloyalty, no functioning system, and the lack of communication are all these issues that will be solved with the strategy we propose, customer centricity. Let's go, Porsche. We thank you for your attention, and we are now open to questions.
We will have 15 minutes for question and answer. Please, I'm ready. Thank you. Let's have the first question from our judges.
Yeah, very good. I think let me begin. I just want to get a better understanding of your financial analysis, right? Can you just go to that page? How do you come up with the revenue? I mean, how do you interpret revenue here?
Thank you for your question, sir. I would like to direct this question to Baram Singh.
Thank you. So how do we derivate our revenue here? Our revenue was directed from our extra sales in Taycan models. We believe that our company is making a huge move into the EV cars, and Taycan has been one of the pioneers for that EV market for Porsche. And we wanted to see how Porsche would react to the increase in its number of models. So it was taken on a year-by-year basis. So 2021 was 5,300 cars, and we shifted it by about an increase of 13%, of 10 to 13%, to make it reach this, and then taken the price, that is the price of the highest car to the lowest price range, and did the average and then multiplied to gain the value. But also we tried to put extra in it by seeing what else could be done, which was savings on legal cost.
Okay, and what you put here is extra saving forecast. What does that mean?
So the extra savings forecast is the amount by which the Porsche Taycan will rise.
Oh, saving cost from what? The Taycan what?
So the extra savings forecasted will be from the Taycan models. That would be, that is from one year to another. Forecasted, the difference would be the one that we calculated as the extra savings forecasted.
I still, okay, a bit too complicated to me. Right, because you know what, I think the thing is, I think when you forecast revenue, right, I think you, nothing to be done with the, I mean, what we are trying to address here is the customer service failure, right? And I don't really understand the logic how you link this kind of revenue into this whole scheme of thing. But you know what, cost I can understand, right? So you have cost of training, you have cost of virtual, you have cost of implementing all these kind of things. That's okay. But you know what, linking, when you're talking about revenue, this is the product that have already been sold. And by implementing this, I mean, are you telling me that you're going to sell more or what?
So by implementing the revenue, yes, we are trying to say that we will be selling more because our strategy aims to improve our profitability. And we believe that our strategy, by dealing with better customer service, our customers are key. And we believe that when we will be dealing with better customer service, words will go out that Porsche has improved in customer service. And also the drive in the Chinese market has been through an upsurge right now. And we have seen how much the Taycan has shifted from selling about average to selling more than average right now. And we have to meet our demand because this is a niche market and we have to forecast for the extra cars that we will be selling because our strategy deals with bringing new demand. So we had to forecast the revenue that will be actually used. We did not forecast the entire revenue, but more what the extra cars that would be sold through the forecasting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But how many units that you forecast for China? I mean, for Taycan?
So in 2021, as I said before, it was 5,300 cars. In 2022, it will be 6,000 cars, an increase of 700. In 2023, it will be 6,750 cars, an increase from of about 750. And in 2024, it will be to an increase of 7,600, which will be representing an increase of 850 cars.
Okay, all right. Can you move on the next page? The risk analysis. So risk assessment matrix. So that what I don't understand is I mean, you have a lot of this assessment. What is this for? I think there are
Thank you
two,
for
three
the
similar
question.
pages, right?
I'm sorry, sir. Could you please repeat your question?
Look, I just want to try to understand, what is this risk assessment matrix for? I think you have it for different sort of action, right? But it's not actually written clearly here on each page.
Okay, so what the risk matrix, the risk assessment matrix is trying to explain, like actually it is determined through two key aspects, namely the severity and the likelihood. While the severity explains how severe and impactful the particular risk might be, and likelihood is actually the degree of probability of the occurrence of a given risk. For example, let's take the first risk of difficulty of rebuilding the trust to our customers, which has a low probability of happening, and it is acceptable even if it happens, because as per our research done by our team, people have a deep trust in Porsche because it has the capacity of building a dream car according to the specification of its customers. So let's, for the second risk, if I may say, it is the mismatch in the standards, okay, which clearly happens because people have different way of view things. Hence, they will have a specific, they will have for a specific problem, but they will have different point of view. And the risk mentioned in here are the risk for our different strategies. Thank you.
Okay. All right. No more questions for now. Samir?
Yes, I just have only one question. Regarding the immediate problem that many guys like Paul is rightly facing, what would be your short-term fix, if any, to address that?
Thank you for your question, sir. I'd like to direct this question to Zainab.
Thank you. And I'm very sorry. I would ask you to please repeat your question. I didn't quite hear the last part.
I said the person in the test case, Paul, I think, the problem that he's facing is quite evident that many other guys are facing a similar problem. So what immediate solution, if any, would you like to propose to address their problem and the ultimate problem being faced by Porsche as a brand?
Of course. Thank you very much for your question. So the very first part of our strategy, that is service failure recovery, tackles this kind of problem. This is simply because of many people like Paul. Like, they have the financial, they have the money, they just want their dream car. They want the options and they want the availability. And this is particularly why my colleagues have stated that we have to focus for the expected demand and so on. But now coming to your question, the thing is, the very reason why Paul has feel this way and like so many different problems have happened because there is a lack of step-by-step guidance for these kind of problems. So this is why we propose the step-by-step guide for the employees to follow. The thing is, Mr. David, if I may say, the salesperson, he didn't even consult the manager. There was no communication to the customer relationship department. Our department didn't know about this kind of problem. So this is why we're providing this guide. And the immediate solution would be the third, as you can see, the third thing, that is the fix the issue, discuss with the manager that solution that can be provided. Because at the end of the day, different branches have different, different pool of funds, right? For example, if I take in Mauritius, we don't sell as much as Porsche in different countries and so on. So we have to really take into account if we can afford to give Mr. Paul or any kind of customer, what can we give that particular customer? Because at the end of the day, if the person has spent only 200,000 HKD, we cannot give the person only a camera of 10,000, right? We have to really compensate and try to take into account the grief, because that person has waited for like 1 year before getting the car. So we have to take into account so many external factors. This is why we have to really take it case by case, and this is the guide to do so. Thank you. And of course, this strategy later on translates to the review committee, which will sit down with these cases each by each, one by one, and discuss what to do with these kind of customers. Because at the end of the day, our customers are king. Thank you.
One more question for me. What do you think are the two major root causes of this issue?
Causes. Okay, thank you for your question. The major problem is communication. It is at the center, it is the heart of this problem, communication. Because Porsche has the capability of giving that person his dream car. But even if we're lacking in supply, we have global supply chain problems like every manufacturing plants, and this is not a particular problem because our factories have closed down because of the COVID-19 restriction and so on. But at the end of the day, there is the light at the end of the tunnel. So it is not a supply chain problem in itself that where we have failed to really communicate and provide it. There's a lack of supply of raw material, but communication. The customer didn't know that we lack parts. The customer didn't know. The salesperson only promised, made fake promises to that person. Yes, you will get your rear axle. Yes, you will get this and this. But of course, the person will start to dream because it's Porsche. It's that person's dream car. He has waited all his life to drive Taycan. And now that he can drive a car that can make a change for the world, of course that person will do it. But if as a salesperson, if our people are going to make fake promises to our customers, this is a clear-cut lack of communication. So this is why the heart of our strategy is customer centricity. We have to listen what our customers are demanding from us. We have to take into account the reviews. This is why we've built our strategies revolving around with 5 phases of that strategy concerning the different how to tackle this communication issue. As you can see, there will be even a review committee, people who actually sit down and go by the different cases step by step, because our customers are king and they deserve the best. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Any more questions, Samir?
No questions. Thank you so much.
All right. I think I'm running out of questions also.
The students from the University of Mauritius, and thank you, judges from HSBC. Oh, that's the end of our session today. Sorry, that's the end of Q&A. And the judges, now please stay in the room for deliberation. And the dear team, you may take a break. We will place you in the waiting room and bring you back for the feedback session in a few minutes.